Welcome all back to Assetto Corsa. I'm DJ Atomica with Striker and Transporter. And do we have a doozy for you today?
That's right, Atomica. Today we've got a heckin' large showcase of cars for Assetto Corsa that have come out this year all the way up to this month, May 2023. We've got Porsches, BMWs, AMGs, Alpines, Ariels, Nissans, you name it. Most of the cars here are free, some are paid, but all of them are available for you to find and download or purchase right now.
We'll also have links to all the cars found in this video in the description below so you can find them. Also, to make things even more interesting, and because car testing does not end on this channel, we're going to do some lap shootouts with these cars and find out which of these new additions is the fastest. Gotta keep things interesting, right?
Oh. See, Striker, he's learning.
I don't know, Atomica. I feel as if this showcase needs a bit more zing. Tell you what, after this Transporter, pick one of these cars and I'll race you with it, because I think you still got skill issues.
We're doing this again now.
Hey, car testing doesn't stop on here, and neither does proving yourself. So let's begin, shall we? We've got 30 cars to look at, so sit back, relax, and enjoy all the engine noise. We'll begin in alphabetical order with this Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio. Tell us about it, Transporter, cuz from what I've researched, it's quite the reputable SUV.
It is. The Stelvio QV won many awards since its introduction, including Automotive Video Association's Performance SUV of the Year. Like in the Giulia QV, this car sports the same 2.9-litre twin-turbo V6, derived from the 3.9-litre twin-turbo V8 found in the Ferrari Roma, the Ferrari F8, and the Ferrari SF90. Unlike the Giulia QV though, the Stelvio QV comes with all-wheel drive, and with one transmission, an 8-speed multi-clutch Z F gearbox. The car you see here was done by Hesi Performance and is an early access mod, but will be available for free in a couple weeks' time. It's quite the grippy SUV, which is expected of an Alfa, though there might be other SUVs quicker than it round here at Silverstone. I just have to find them.
About to say, because for something with just over 500 horsepower, that's quite a quick time. I mean, this Secchi guy also made that Cayenne Turbo GT, right? Shouldn't that car be faster than this?
Psst, it might be a skill issue thing.
It's not a skill issue thing. I'll just redrive that car at a later date. Or maybe it's because Secchi made the Stelvio QV, that grippy for an SUV. Who knows?
I mean, don't get us wrong, it's a lovely car, but It's just eerie how easy a big SUV like this is to drive around a circuit like Silverstone.
That's a reputable concern. But here's the thing. Alfa are magicians in some sense. First off, the Giulia QV, when first introduced, came out of left field and surprised the performance midsize sedan king in the BMW M3 by being a much better performer on the track. So it should be no surprise that the Stelvio QV could be one of the best performance SUVs in the world. I mean, we are talking about a car with some F1 racing DNA here.
Well, that Alfa was pretty cool, but it's time for some faster cars, right? We head to France now as we look at more cars that Seki has put out. This is the Alpine A110 R. And wait, is this the real car?
Kinda. It's also slower than you think, so that's one thing to make note of. The Alpine A110 R is the track-focused hardcore version of the standard A110, a car Alpine designed to take on the Porsche 718 Cayman. The mid-engined 1.8-litre turbocharged four-cylinder sports car now puts out 300 horsepower, up from 249. Along with other upgrades and changes that make the car lighter and more agile, the new A110R will now do 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.9 seconds onto a top speed of 177 miles per hour. Though I don't feel that power coming into play here. Once more, those wheels aren't the actual carbon fiber rims featured on the actual car. Those are work VS rims.
Another early access mod from Seki, I assume. I mean, they're not bad, but even with this car, he could be a bit more precise with the performance and the details.
Moreover, now that you're driving it, is it just me? Or does the gearbox seem wonky? What kind of gearbox does the real thing have?
Now that you mention it, yeah, it's very wonky. The real car has a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox with paddle shifters, so it should be shifting faster than this. So yeah, it does feel weird. To add on to that, handling-wise, it feels more loose than rigid. Kind of the antithesis of the car.
Well, Seki, if you're watching this, those are just some things to look at, say you were to update this car in the future.
It definitely needs those cool carbon fiber rims if you ask me. Plus, I reckon if he gave this car a proper transmission, it would be much faster than how it is now.
Well, if that Alpine wasn't fast enough, how about a faster one? This is the same A110 R we just saw a couple minutes ago, but there's been some incredible changes to it. Talk to us about it, man. What's Seki done here with this Alpine?
For starters, there's the noticeably larger rear wing and lots of green accents on the car. It also sits lower, and has wider 635 branded grip tyres because it now houses, get this, 750 horsepower from that same engine. This is, essentially, one of 4 of Seki's new 635 racing set, in which he's taking old and new cars from his library and giving them insane amounts of performance to rival other insanely tuned mods out there in the community like no Hesi or Pushing P. It's a pretty good start, I'll be honest. However, for this car, I'm not sure that rear wing or those tyres are doing much. I mean, it's very loose rather than rigid, much like the standard car.
Yeah, you, seem to be struggling with the car there. That's just not a skill issue thing. The car looks generally really difficult to handle.
Well, I could handle it.
You couldn't.
Nah, this time I have to agree with Transporter here, Stryker. I, don't think even you could handle that.
Why are you guys doubting me? All right, fine. We'll race later, and I'll prove to y'all that I can handle difficult cars.
So, you'll be driving this?
I'll let you know what I'll be driving, don't worry.
I better not be worried. Don't you go embarrassing me on here, Stryker.
Chill. I got this.
Well, we'll leave that car's handling to chance at least. Now onto something a lot easier to drive because it's a lightweight track car, the Ariel Atom Mugen. Now I know what the Atom is capable of, but Mugen, what is Mugen, Transporter?
That's a good question. Mugen are like Spoon Sports, Ria Mamiya, Amuse, Brabus, you name it. Tuner or tuning boutique companies that, although not related to certain main manufacturer companies, like Mugen and Spoon Sports are to Honda, they are in a close relationship with them. Mugen have been customizing and tuning Hondas since the early 1970s, and Ariel have recently partnered with Honda, with their latter building engines for the former's new cars. In fact, the current Ariel Atom uses the new turbocharged 310 horsepower VTEC engine from the Civic Type R. Now back to this car, the Atom Mugen. It also uses a Civic Type R engine, but from the FN2 generation, so it's naturally aspirated, but it also revs rather high. And thanks to tweaks from Mugen, it makes over 270 horsepower. Also, because the Atom Mugen is so light, aerodynamic, and produces drag thanks to the front splitter and rear wing, it will do 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds, onto a top speed of 160 miles per hour.
Wow, this car looks joyous to drive and very detailed too. Who made this mod?
101 Creative, and it's free.
This thing looks like fun. I also noticed no traction control or ABS.
The real car doesn't have those driving aids, so this car doesn't come with them either.
that looked like so much fun, but lap time-wise, look at what car is close to it, the Stelvio QV. That SUV must be really grippy.
Kind of unrealistically grippy, if you ask me. I don't know. I, like you, also find it weird that this quick-track car with just under 300 horsepower is only a second faster than a 500 horsepower performance crossover.
Well, although fast, we do hope that the Stelvio gets tuned a bit more realistically in the future, but if we stay and talk about it for too long, we'll be here all day. And we're already going to be here all day, so let's move on. We're going to spend some time in Bavaria today as we look at a plethora of BMWs, starting with this 530 IM Tech by Zen Power. And man, it looks so realistic.
Way too realistic. I can see the glare from the glass headlight covers. This man goes above and beyond in terms of quality.
There's a lot that Zen Power's done to this car, but besides its realism, it is a bit too grippy. Some of the features he implemented on this car was the ability to change the car's appearance on the fly. 1 minute it's an old E39 5 Series Sport. The next it's an Alpine kitted 5 Series with matching rims and tyres, quad exhausts and a tilting roof. What's strange though is the engine. In the showroom, the car has the standard 228 horsepower from the 3-litre straight 6, but according to my HUD, it has a turbocharger in it. Only the 530D has a turbo in it because it's a turbo diesel. What's more, it sounds like the car revs rather low. So, is this thing a diesel or a petrol car?
I myself am not sure, but what's even weirder is look at that grip. The car is just swerving and rolling here and there, and yet it's so grippy. This is somewhat wild.
Okay. Calm down there, Striker. We're about as baffled as you are, but even with all that grip, it's still an old 5 Series, so it might not be as fast as we think it's going to be.
Still though, dude, it's really moving.
Now that you mention it, that's kind of fast. It even beats that Alpine. So either this car is really fast or that Alpine is really slow. I don't know. Anyway, grip or not, this car looks kinda retro hot. Reminds me of the M5 from Need for Speed High Stakes and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Still, let's stay in Bavaria as we look at...
Oh, hey, Atomica?
Yeah, what's up?
You know you kind of flubbed your alphabet, right?
Did I?
Yeah. Bentley comes before BMW, dude. The E comes before the M, just so you're aware.
Oh, crap. Well, let's backtrack because, yes, we have a pair of Bentleys to look at. Both the same car, but in different flavors. This is the Bentley Flying Spur, the Make's new flagship sedan. Now that the Mulsanne is no more, fully fledged luxury cars are an interesting addition to games like these, right? I mean, I know Assetto Corsa came with a Panamera Turbo, a Cayenne Turbo, a Macan Turbo, and a Quattraport, but they also have GT4, GT3, GT2 hypercars, and F1 racers in here too.
That really shouldn't surprise you though. Gran Turismo and Forza have that wide variety of cars as well. And didn't Paradise City house luxury cars, SUVs, hypercars, F1 cars? Even an F1 police car.
Dude, how are you forgetting the cars you helped racers in Paradise unlock during their stay there? Really, you should have remembered that instantly.
I swear I'm fine. I guess it just slipped my mind.
Well, as slippery as your mind is as the king's brother, you should have been...
Stop. You've been watching too many of the Disney movies in my collection, haven't you?
I can't help it. They're just childhood.
All right. Let's just see how this Bentley does on track, you guys.
Well, it's big, but it moves. And look, that Alpine is only a couple milliseconds faster than it. How very interesting.
You, Striker? Intrigued? Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially snowing in hell.
Well then, let's turn up the wick and make things hotter. Not in hell, at least. But up here at Silverstone, if the standard Flying Spur doesn't float your boat, how about something less boaty? This is the Flying Spur Mansory, and other than it looking a lot more aggressive and packing wider tires, it also houses a lot more power from that big W12 engine.
Both cars, the Flying Spur and Flying Spur Mansory, can be downloaded right now via the VR Driving Patreon, though you'll need a subscription in order to access it.
Luxury doesn't come cheap, as they always say.
Now that is a fast Bentley, something weighing over 5,000 pounds. Running a decent lap on here, even with that much power, that's sort of commendable. So let's finally move on to some BMWs.
Wait, Atomica, one thing.
All right, what's up, Stryker?
Are we really going to get through all of these 30-plus car mods in this single video?
Well, wasn't that the plan?
Initially, but I reckon if we do them all in one go, we're just going to tune people out. How about we separate our massive haul of cars? We'll do 12 today, 12 another day, and the remaining 11 some other time. I mean, we've got so much other stuff to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. Lego 2K Drive, more Forza challenges, even some exclusive stuff that's coming in the next couple of weeks. We can hold off on some of the mods and showcase them later. Wow, can I just say it's good to have you here. You're like a crazy but sensible voice of reason.
I'm still a faster driver than you?
Don't push it. Anywho, we move back to BMW because we've got a crazy powerful M2 to look at, and wouldn't you believe it, it's by Secchi. This is the BMW M2 M Performance 635 Racing, and it looks absolutely menacing. We've seen the Alpine A110 R 635 do crazy stuff with just 750 horsepower. How much power is this M2 packing, transporter?
880 horsepower. Also, unlike the A110 R 635, which was difficult to drive, this M2 is a lot more grippy, even with the M Performance parts. I guess the rear wing, front splitter, rear diffuser, and 635 tyres actually work on this car.
This thing looks angry with all that black and green, and it grips like a go-kart. Look at it!
Even with all that black and green and grip, it's slower than the A110 R 635. Why is that?
The M2 was definitely easier to handle, but the A110R definitely felt faster in the straights and nearly as grippy in the corners. So I guess there's that.
Isn't the Alpine lighter, though? That could also be a big factor.
It is by a whopping 600 kilograms. Still, I feel as if the M2 is a better car because it's easier. But clearly, I've proven myself wrong.
First time for everything, right? Let's continue with BMW then. We go from M2 to M3 with this E90 sedan, but this isn't a normal E90 sedan, is it?
Yeah, from the look of things, it looks like it's been stealthily upgraded by, no Hesi?
Yup, no Hesi. They're all about cutting up and swerving through traffic, whether it be on the FDR, the C1 Shuto Expressway, or even on track during track days. And they do it in highly detailed, yet upgraded versions of some of the coolest cars in the world. For example, This M3 E90 is sporting BBS FIR rims, grippy Toyo R 888R tyres, a 6-speed manual, better aero, and a big turbo, or pair of turbos, boosting power from 414 to 775 horsepower. Other than the Hesi Spec 900 horsepower Civic Type R with the wide body kit from Varis, this M3 might be one of the fastest saloons we'll ever see.
Really? So is this thing going to be faster than that 635 racing Alpine or M2?
You're doubting what the guys at Hesi can do.
I mean, the M3 is still a German sedan, isn't it? Built for performance, yes, but the Alpine is much lighter and has 750 horsepower, and that M2, although slightly heavier, has a lot of aero and over 800 horsepower. I don't think this M3 stands a chance.
Well, I'm driving it here now. What do you see, Striker?
I see. A rather... What? What? What is this grip? 6-speed manual on my left foot. This thing is stupid fast. That Alpine had a wonky gearbox, yet this M3 is just...
Cutting up the competition, huh? Is that what you're trying to say?
Uh-oh. Wow, Transporter, you actually put Stryker in a corner there.
That's never happened to me before. I'm just bewildered. Look at it! It's going so fast!
Easy, my friend. This is just some of the wonders of what Hesi can do.
Incredible. Are there more cars like this? I'd very much like to see more cars like this one.
Patience, my friend. I've got more like this coming in these showcases.
As a matter of fact, Stryker, you don't have to wait that long for another Hesi car to show up. We've got another one coming up right now. This is a Hesi Spec BMW M5 E60 from 2005, sitting on some forged Volk Racing TE37s wrapped in Bridgestone Potenza rubber with an upgraded 817 horsepower 5-liter V10 engine under the hood. This car looks menacing, but does it grip?
It does, although because it's much heavier than the M3 or the M2, it might not be as quick round Silverstone as we think it might, even with all that power.
Power or not, listen to that engine. It sounds so angelic.
I know what you mean. V10 engines are a thing of beauty in terms of sound.
Even though we're into the age of turbocharging and electrification, these V10 Beamers still have a cult following. In fact, if you ask some BMW enthusiasts what the best engine BMW has made in the last 20 years, they'd direct you to the V10 found in this and the E63 M6.
fastest of lap times, but for a big heavy luxury sedan with very grippy rubber and a powerful V10, that's pretty quick. By the way, Transporter, where can we find these no Hesi cars? Do they have a Patreon?
They do, as well as a Discord server. I'll link both of them in the description below. This car and a few others are available for free via their Discord server, and you can download them right now once you join. The M3 we saw earlier is a Tier 3 VIP/Patreon exclusive, and some of the cars from the pack that you can download for free can only be used on their online servers, if you are of a certain VIP tier.
The joys of exclusivity, but at least they make quality content. You know who else does? Though some find them controversial, push and pee. Here you go, Striker. How's about another BMW M5 E60 to look at? This one was customized by Prvvy and features even more power, 850 to be exact.
850? This has to be better than the no Hesi car. I mean, it looks so cool. And what are those rims it has on?
Brixton PF10 forged wheels. This special M5 also sports a carbon fiber roof, new aero in a front splitter, rear lip spoiler, and rear diffuser, carbon fiber door mirrors, and much louder exhausts. As cool looking as this car is, unfortunately it's not free. You'll need to be a Pushin' P Patreon or Discord subscriber to have access to this car. I'll put links to where you can find this and more of his cars in the description below. There's also one other thing to mention. A bug they have yet to fix on this car.
A cool looking Beamer like this with a bug? What could they have missed with all the attention to detail they've applied?
The tail lights don't work.
Wait, they don't? Aren't they on right now?
Now that you mention it, after seeing the no Hesi M5 in action, I haven't seen the rear lights light up even once while you've been driving this car. Also, is it just me? Or does this car borrow stuff from its successor?
Good eye. Prvvy's M5 borrows the rear bumper and front LED headlamps from the F10 LCI M5.
I thought I saw something familiar. That is fast. It's not even that far off from the no Hesi M3 E90. They just need to fix the rear brake lights, and then it'll be totally complete.
This is a car that I'd like to build for real. It just looks so well done, and I can imagine me getting looks in this while driving it around town.
Well, we can let you daydream later, Striker. We still have one more car to look at for this showcase, and wouldn't you believe it? It's another BMW M5. This time it's the current outgoing M5, the M5 F90 CS. Now, this car was done by Seki and is part of his 635 racing set, so it must be crazy powerful, right, Transporter?
The most powerful one we've come across, actually. 1160 horsepower.
1,160 horsepower? What? Are you kidding me?
Your eyes are not deceiving you. Moreover, this isn't a normal M5 CS.
I mean, it's already packing Bugatti levels of power. Of course it's not normal. What else would make it stick out from the rest of the crowd?
Well, what about swapping the twin-turbo V8 for a 5-litre V10?
Wait, what?
And swapping the 8-speed automatic transmission for a 6-speed manual gearbox?
You've gotta be kidding me!
You're just a massive ball of emotions there, aren't you, Striker?
How can you not be surprised by this, Atomica? Seki's changed this car completely and made it a driver-focused monster.
A monster, with lots of understeer. The car is crazy fast on the straights, but in the corners I had a difficult time trying to find grip due to the front wheels not entirely gripping the way I thought they would. It definitely needs a bit more stability in the front.
Yeah, I agree. From the look of things, I don't think this car has the cornering performance to take on Prvvy's M5.
Seki's 635 M5 is definitely fast, but not entirely circuit-worthy. Here's to hoping he mends that when and if he decides to take this monster of an M5 public.
Which I hope he does. This car has lots of potential of being just a completely out there addition to a hypercar race.
I know Seki well. I think he'll refine these cars rather well in the future, just you wait.
We'll be waiting, all right, but that's all the time we have for today. I hope you all enjoyed all of our banter and commentary, as well as all the cars we featured today running around Silverstone. We'll be back soon with another set of 12 cars, including a legendary Bugatti, a brand new Ferrari, some fast Nissans, and maybe a Porsche or two. Striker, Transporter, it was awesome having you guys around today.
As always, that's why I'm here, right?
I actually had kind of fun having you two around. We might be going places with all of this, guys.
And that's why we're here. If you loved all that you saw and heard today, leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel. There's plenty more of shenanigans to be had here. On behalf of Striker and Transporter, I'm DJ Atomica signing off for the day on Transporter FM. We'll see you next time.